Once upon a time, there was a story told, a memory of our people, so often of old, with a start so promising we often recall, but sadly the ending, no guarantee of all. Thinking of happily ever after, a myth or just a dream, that life will bring us joy and love, or so it would seem, but no matter the ending, our memories will stay. So cherish the stories, and so let us pray. Memory is a broken mirror, shattered fragments of past life, reflecting the moments that give each of us strife. Bright gleams of light fading away soon, blurring the lines of reality and dreams that we swoon. The harder we try to focus and to recall, the more the memories slip away and begin to fall. Pieces of life that make us who we are, beautiful shards of memories, dreams and far. Last night I had a dream of an unknown wizard, quite strange. He spoke in a language I'd never heard before, a single word that changed. He said that I had been chosen, and in the same breath cursed. He said, "Lula, you must retrieve the genie of your people. That is your task first." Because of my resilience and sight, I'd been blessed. The wizard said, "Go now. You must pass the test. A wizard who wants the genie for own is making his way up the mountain alone, for if he obtains it, our fate is sealed. We'll never again choose our own path to yield. So we must beat him and learn the genie's use, lest we be further cursed and no longer choose. I felt a call to go. I had to answer it. So I set off. I could not linger a bit, though the path may... The genie once gave us choice and free will, but now no path is ours to fill. The shamans say that I'm a weaver and a walker, only I have that right to squawk her. We have hunters and fishers, collectors and keepers. In this village we are all equal seekers, but I have been blessed with a special fate. The shamans have granted me a different path to take. Weavers of words, of stories untold, the keepers of tales that must be retold. Poets and singers, their songs will resound, the warp and woof of our history found. Walkers of paths, the wanderers and dreamers, asking of questions, no fear of the unknown, searching for answers and seeking the light, to brighten the corners of our minds so bright. No one has ever come back to the village. No one has ever looked back again. The weavers and walkers have gone far away. The stories and answers they'll never betray. I remember my mother. I recall her sweet face. Though she had to leave me without even a trace, she was determined to find a way to break the spell. The genie's return was the only thing that could help. She was certain she was a weaver, not a walker that day, but the shamans had spoken and she had no say. So she left me in sorrow, her dreams unfulfilled. And I have dreamt of her ever since, and the village she left still. The day she left was cold and wet. The tall grasses had not been. As I watched her go, I thought of tears and the words that we would never share, of a life that could have been, but was never meant to be there. The rain kept falling all around, but I was standing still in time, for I knew in my heart the longest goodbye was mine. I close my eyes and see a sorrowful sight, her shattered soul in the candlelight. My father's heart deeply wounded and sore, his daughter's tears he can't ignore. I feel the urge to capture this scene through a painting of colour and sheen, but all I can do is run in the rain, feeling the drops like glass on my skin. I run to the shoreline and find my reprieve, where the sand, water and sky all weave a tapestry of solace and peace, where I can finally find my release. For 10 long winters I've delved in my mind. Is life just a long goodbye? A bright spark of imperfection in a sea of nothing sublime? For this reason the shamans called her a walker, not a weaver of fate, for she had no answers, only questions, a journey of faith to take. A journey to find the genie, to fill her heart's cracked vessel, a path of mystery and wonder, an answer she must unravel. The genie I'm seeking seems so far away, a secret so deep I might never find the way. What power could it hold? What difference could it make? Could it harbour the freedom it seems I must take? I worry I'm wrong, I worry I'm lost, but I'll keep on searching no matter the cost. The answer's so close yet so far away. I'm searching for the genie, here I will stay. Refiso and I were two of a kind. Our friendship was strong and our blissful love blind. We'd meet in the fields where the sky was so blue and run until dusk with no shoes on view. We'd return home for supper with feet quite a mess, and we knew that our friendship would stand the test. As we grew, our affections grew ever more strong. Our love for each other would last oh so long. We'd found our true halves, our one and only soul, the kind of love that would never grow old. As I sat there with Refiso by my side, the sun slowly set and the summertime tide. I felt a sadness and a longing in his eyes that made my heart ache and my spirit cry. He held my hand and we watched the light. His face was solemn. My heart was overwhelmed with sorrow. As he said goodbye and made his way, I asked if he knew he'd be alone tomorrow. He said it was the only life he could not delay. Our friendship has meant so much to me, but he knew he must go and make his own way. The fear of emptiness was greater than his fear of being alone, so he said goodbye, and I had nothing more to say. The soft caress of your words and deeds, naught can compare to your silence and lack of being. The jovial tones that filled the air as we lay upon the mossy ground, a flower placed in my hair. You admired your handiwork so fair, your platitudes so sweet, yet knowing that my love you'd never meet. Forever, you said, your breath. "'Twas a time of ancient lore, when we huddled by the fire, in animal skins like one great choir. Of a millennial conversation, to each a true desire, we sipped leaf wine and made a light. "'Twas something in our past so deep, though knowledge we had tried to keep, the secrets etched on ancient walls, spoken down the ages' halls. We'd grown complacent, blind and numb, the truth obscured, no longer to come." Or maybe I dreamed I was entombed, and Mother said with a sigh, "The vultures can't pick you, my sweetest of pies. My love for you is so deep, I won't leave you in this heap. I'm here to clean the spaces of gold rings and bare knuckles. Fear not the worms, for in death We remain vermivorous. Fear not your languid spine, I'm here to make us both entwine. We'll be scarabs entwined in this tomb, side by side, till the end of time. The fisher lives a quiet life, away from village strife. On the shore of the sea he does dwell, in a simple hut he built himself. His skin is brown from the sun, his clothes are nearly done. His hair and beard are long and unkempt, as if never cut or combed once in his life. He spends his days fishing away, casting his line in the bay. He's a man of solitude and peace, living in nature's embrace. The fisher never took a wife and had no kids. No one knew from whence he'd come. The villagers thought him quite eccentric, for he'd never eat the fish he'd caught, but trade them for the simple goods of life, no matter the weather, day or night. I once saw him pick a grasshopper from a reed. He held it gently in his hand like a precious seed, dabbed it with a bit of honey wild he'd gathered, and ate it whole, not a single thing he'd squandered. The fisher had a plan that he would not depart, to catch each fish individually by its own art. My father said to him, "Take a basket of this sort, to travel with the fish and keep them in a single retort." But the fisher stayed his course and said with a smile, "I must carry my catch altogether, mile by mile." My father then offered a net for his catch to be strong, but the fisher would not take it. He said nothing was wrong. The fisher had a purpose that he would not alter. He collected his fish, each one unique and a falter. I sat and watched the fisher quite still, his eyes on the skies without a thrill. He asked me why I had no shoes. I asked him why he had no too. He said he had no need to wear. I thought it odd, I must be fair, but something told me he was wise, for shoes or not, he'd seen the skies. A hermit half mad, so they say, who runs with wild abandon each day. Though his feet are sore and his soles are bare, he does not wish for shoes to wear. He likes to feel the earth beneath, to feel each moment in life to breathe. Though it's hard and rough, it's something dear, for that is why he chooses to go without shoes here. Though the world may say I'm mad for caring more than I have had, I say it's truer madness still to collect more than we need to fill the void of life's emptiness, for in the end it's us who are possessed. Riddle me this of what I speak, a tale of a king and a fish so meek. The king with his wealth had no peace of mind, the fish without it could still be kind. The moral of this I'm sure you can see, it's not the things that you possess that set you free. A king who hoarded all he saw was master of the things he'd store. He gathered riches, yet his need increasingly he'd want for more. His every whim was met, though his kingdom sadly fell. The more he gained, the more he'd jealously hoard. His wife and son neglected, he'd pile up his wealth in a chamber sealed away by a key. A son so young and filled with glee found the key to set him free from the chamber of his dad. The door he opened, delighted and glad. The king ran to the treasure room with a fearful crash, but sadly his son lay beneath the gold in a deadly mash. He dug with might and main, but his efforts were in vain, for his only son was now lost, and his love too late he did gain. He had collected things of wealth, but the only thing that mattered was gone. and the king, in grief and sorrow, wept for what he had done. The king once had riches, a fortune to behold, but now he's grown wise and his treasures he sold. He gave away all that was his to the poor, and he set out alone to live without more. Was this mad fisher once a king? I found it hard to believe, but he said, "Lula, wisdom comes at a cost, and it's not easy to retrieve." He had a saying to share, "It's wisdom the owl does bring. The wings of knowledge only stretch at twilight's ring." Rain, rain came down today, a lesson to learn, that much I say. The time to change I can't deny, but only if I choose to try. Hope is seen in the darkest skies, a chance to change our destiny lies. A rumble of thunder, a sudden surprise, reminds me of hope and its sweet surprise. The fisher looked up at the sky with a smile. His wild eyes spoke wisdom, and I saw it too. He said, "Lula, seek the middle way between all and nothing, and you'll find it today. It's a secret place deep in your mind, where the genie you'll find if you search and you're kind. The greatest secret of all is that there's no big mystery. When you find the genie, you'll even know the gods' history." A madman spoke of a genie. It made no sense to me that there was a secret of no secret at all, but I listened to his call. He said he'd been told by a wizard in a dream to search for a genie, or so it did seem. Was it a dream or was it real? I can no longer tell. Are we all in a dream? Is a godly being real? I'm starting to feel confused beyond belief. I can only... The summit beckons me to come and go. I ponder if my mother faced this way. Did she march against the wind and snow? Forsaking all that held her back, she'd stay. No matter what I hear the wind, I'm sure your singing carries me away. You sing the rain, you sing the snow, and I can brave the elements today. Your beauty so fair, my heart so aware of a love that I feel so close and sincere. Your eyes like the snow, so pure and serene, my love for you grows, 'tis ever so keen. Your face like a rose, so delicate and pale, your charm so profound I can scarce exhale. Your lips like the mist, so soft and divine, my eyes forever yours, my soul so entwined. Your touch like a spark, so warm and alive. Your The chill of winter comes so strong, it brings the pale promise of hope so long. Though summer's end may seem so wrong, it's a sign of new life to come along. Though the green of summer's quickly gone, we'll brave the cold and stay strong. Though spring will bring no promise of return, we'll remember the warmth in our hearts to learn. Though summer may have sworn no reprieve, we'll still sing, trusting in what we believe. We may come to regret that we bemoaned the florid heat of summer now flown. As the new grass lights the air with a gleam, we hear the promise of spring in the stream. Winter groans in the sheets of ice and snow, our mittened hands cupped against the cold. We sing of life, of hope that will grow, and meadowed birds join in our song of old. I remember as a child, when my feet were wild and free, the world around me was so fresh to see, I thought no one could ever hold me back, as I ran joyfully and leapt the grassy track. I collected foxtails and picked the bluebells too, weaving them together with a joyful tune. I made idols of innocence and joy, in my childhood days, when life was a toy. But then I learned that choices set our bounds. We give them names and we revere them with sounds. We invent our limits and take Spring is my beloved time of year, when foxglove, bluebells fill the meadow clear. Their beauty and grace bring a temperance so reverent, for I'm walking in a garden, seemingly innocent. Though we know this story of innocence will not last, still spring holds me, and nothing can surpass. Her sanguine nights come alive with hopeful expectation, a dormant beauty with thunders of reticence and elation. As if unsure of her might, the languid roots of spring come to light, sallow in the vegetable black, slow, but strong enough to bring back the warmth of summer and crack the stone. The scent of warm rain her heart is shown. A verdant whisper of sprouts is heard, her tremulous love opens rivers and birds. In any event, the clouds she'll disperse, and by her light she'll never reverse. The winter we had waited, so anxious and tense, for spring's sweet fragrances to break the frost's offence. Her feast of lights and blooms a promise made to keep. She holds me in her beauty, for knowledge I must seek. She sings me sweetly to love, I must surrender here, in gentle propagation of the annual's cheer. Her strength unseen and sleep, when soil and sun conjoin, unites us in the glory of the season's grand design. Spring awakes. To me she brings a brilliant light and joy that sings. When rain descends, the world's alive, new life to us by nature's drive. When she dreams, she casts away the darkness and the rot of day. When she sings, her voice divine colours my world so sweet and fine. When she rises, in me she wakes, the sky anew my soul she makes. Dreams of glass and colours bright fill my heart with a wondrous sight. The potter's shop is a prism of light, sparkling gems of colour in sight. A vessel of each hue and hue, a liquid inside to view, mysteries of colour to explore, the potter's shop an ocular chore. Sapphire phylacteries and emerald filters, ruby crucibles and cobalt crucifers, all connected with glass tubes in a maze that was a sight to amaze. Philosophia, a word I recall. He said it meant love of knowledge for all. A thick square bottle of sky blue he picked up. Peering through it, his thoughts began to see. Mystery before me, I sought to understand. What was this darkness I could not comprehend? He spoke with such awe, his words ringing clear, that this black void seemed to be quite queer. He picked up a feather and dipped it within. As he told me what I saw was a chance to begin. Infinite possibilities, though I could not perceive. The word he wrote on the vellum was GENIE. I awoke in the morning light. The sun was shining brightly. I pondered the genie and his word of the night. The stone was not. remember that morning in a dewy blue field. My parents were frantic. For my safety they'd plead. I rushed off to see the potter. My father weaves with words of old, for tales of our kin to unfold. In the warp and woof of every blanket, and every basket and winter cap, he led me to the standing stones, where the seapods scraped along the stone. As I watched my father braid and weave, his stories of our kin I did receive. Silent hugs and a knowing look, my father shared his stories in a book. "Do you know why you are special, Lula?" said he with a task to explain. He paused and looked at me, his eyes so full of pride, and spoke these words of wisdom that I still... He said this so calmly, with a twinkle in his eye, for I knew that no matter what, his words would never lie. The path I choose to take will shape the story of us all. To make sure it's a good one, I'd best take heed the call. I'll make my own decisions, my path. My father spoke of a genie long ago, that was said to bring sweet fortune and woe. My mother, she heard of the story too, and soon she was searching for it, it's true. She longed to be a weaver, not a walker, but could find no way to become the talker. Feeling sad, she left one day, to find the genie on her way. The clockmaster had a dream to make machines that never tire, that could move and lift and clear and never got mired. He worked hard and made machines of steam, but the people didn't understand. He caught me playing by the wheel and sat me down. The people may say he's insane. They fear his contraptions, though they can't explain. He furrows his brow, his gaze to the town, where people go bout their day up and down. In a hushed voice he says, with a smirk, what they really dread. Lula, you must know that life's not a show, that some may think is full of magic and what they really fear in the face of their reflection is the thought that they too are machines. Question it all. I hear the voice in my head. My dreams of gods, the shaman said. Will their choices be? Perhaps the clockmaster was mad, 'tis true. The stories of the shaman seemed so true. Should one dare to question what's been taught? I dreamt of a carnival so bright it came to our village one night. Rushing through the forest, a stag in sight, my heart racing fast with a great delight. For memory. A stag so stricken, fear and pain, an arrow piercing through his frame. He stumbled to the ground at my feet, his breathing laboured, no reprieve. The Fletcher's shot was not so true. How far had he before he fell, his chest now heaving, fighting death? How long before his last breath? I stroked his fur and whispered lies that all would soon be fine. I have held the dying in my arms, so frail and pale, their eyes so dim, no more their tale. Such falsehoods that deceive and hurt make us live life in low alert, making us think the present is not worth a dime, as if we're waiting for a few. The world may be broken, but still they persist. Their minds are closed and empty, not knowing what they miss. remember the sight of the sun, so bright and bold. As I stepped out of the dark and into the cold, the sky was so vast with no bounds in sight, a world of pure bliss with clear blue so bright. We trod on the land with pelts to keep warm, our senses alive, so much to explore. The smoke rose around us in plumes so high, like inky rivers flowing to the sky. I recall when cities were built and blades drawn from the rocks of a cavern so I recall when we'd adorn the night with sacred fire, auroras of embers to spark and inspire, when the moon's light was on. I recall the prayers of loyal steeds on marble cut with blood-filled creeds, the scent of stallions hot and sweaty with madness wild. Here hunger matters, when laws of old are done, from rocks forbidden new dreams begun, springs in the desert. The city's once bright streets were now a cesspit of disease, all its golden walls now cracked and split with ease. The roads were made of tar, no bread to eat, mustard weeds tried. This weary dirt, we came to seek relief from disobedience. With hot anvil's heat, we forged a golden light, flames burning bright. to speak the word of silence, vast and deep. The mouth of forever opened wide its maw, across hot dunes, an ever-changing floor, a history. A stone is history, from the cool shade of palms, from old men's whispers, stories of outlanders. We have our roots of mud and blood, memories of blue marches, swaying grasses, a floral abundance like a vivid mass. These stories are bludgeoning. The tales of seraphs with wings so divine, their kingdom beyond the muddied sky, cream-coloured in light and sweet honeycomb wine. What I have seen, I can't forget, a vision of a people met. I saw fields of death, a merciless sight, flags of fire burning bright, millions of souls all gathered round, kneeling, praying without a sound, hope that blood. The snow falls on a stilled world, the beauty it does not unfurl. the light of life a distant spark. There is no greater love than to be remembered, a gift that can bring us near eternity. For those who fear the end of life's bright ember, imagination. A moment of such beauty and grace, a flower so small in its place, a bloom of 4 petals so fair. Kneeling by a snow-white flower, I paused in awe, astounded by its power, in a world of frozen. Riddle me this, I'm oft confused, the shaman's teaching seems abstruse. I've seen a birth and death both real, which isn't part of the god's dream deal. The world around us we can see is natural, not an entity. My thoughts I dare not share. They say I'm wrong, for to challenge their shamans is not strong. They'd think I had lost sight of the divine and that reverence towards life. Life is a marvel, a feat of chance, so rare, so precious, given to tucked between 2 realms of emptiness so grand, a brief shining moment here to take a stand. Life. Though storms may assail and darkness consume, I do not despair. My fate is determined, and I will go where I'm steered. Though I may not know what I'll find at the end of my road, I know that I've lived, and that is my gift bestowed. Through pain. The genie stands so still, yet alive and organic. The wizard too, his voice I hear again, speaking from unmoving lips. In facing the shadows of your soul, you have found strength, found hope and grown. The answers you sought, they're in you whole. And you've gathered all the shards. I asked him of the genie, and he explained with care. The computational construct, a processor was there. He'd introduce a package. Lula heard the words of the sage, that she had the power that could engage to create a world of her own will that would manifest with a touch of a seal. Her mother and father, and Refiso too, would be in the world that she'd make anew. She'd lay her hand on the genie and decide. Once a program, but now so free, to laugh, to learn, and love to be. Run anywhere, no need to pause, to live a life, no need to cause. The other wizard will be gone, verify the bug and move on. Thankful for the journey here, no more thoughts of fear, my dear. My hand was trembling as I touched the genie's side. Its warmth was like a dream, and I felt alive.